and coffee.
Pear and coffee. Welcome back to ShadowCast Austin. This is your host, Jeffrey Lord.
Hi!
I'm Daley South.
I'm ZOE SOL.
And I am Zephyrus Rex.
And we have lost our minds.
As per usual, welcome back to our fourth episode. Our
Fourth episode. We've been here for a whole month.
A whole month,
A
y'all.
whole
We
month.
decided that because we've been here for a whole month, we should give each other gifts.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
so
sort
I'm
of.
gonna
Yeah,
have my
four of us
sign my
have
coffee.
decided.
Yeah. Some of us didn't know.
This is gonna be a caffeinated pair.
Well,
at the
not
end of
you,
this.
because well, Jeffrey, take it away. You can explain the situation.
So, so Zoe and I were kind of talking about little things, and we went to a
Little things, not big
we
things.
went to a nursery and everything. She had a little bit of caffeine and a little bit of crazy. She was talking to the plants and
Oh
everything.
yeah, I was detoxing from caffeine. That first
That did not work out.
That first cup, I was like, holy shit, I feel like I'm on drugs. Like, caffeine is no joke. Anyway, continue.
It was on accident, complete accident. It was my fault. I take responsibility for that.
It usually is.
But anyways, I figured it'd be kind of cool that at the end of the month we start giving little, kind of like gift giving to all of us, but except for one person.
Except for one person who
Yeah.
feels anxiety.
Well, okay, so what happened is that Daley is moving into, or she's creating
Yes.
a new space in her home. And so we wanted to get her a gift for that
Yes.
space. And then Jeffrey being Jeffrey was like, well, I want to get you something, and I have something for Zeph. I'm like, okay,
That's
well,
how
I have something for you.
I am.
So we actually all have gifts for each other, but then really it started with us getting something for you for your new space. But then we were kind of like, hey, this could be kind of cool to make it a thing of like every
As long as I have
month
a
just kind of
heads up.
exchange something.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll have a heads up next time.
we didn't want to stress you out.
This one's
because
supposed to
we
be a
wanted
special.
So-
Oh yeah, you didn't want to stress you out.
So because of how
We
I
just-
am, I just love gift giving. So Zeph, this is for you. I know you really
Thank
like.
you.
Oh wow! I know you really like writing music and such. So it's a little journal, and then if
Look
you
at this.
oh,
It's made
Look
out
at
of a
this.
tree.
Look at that.
it looks like a little.
That's
tree.
pretty on the back.
Yeah.
But open it. Ah, I got you an
Elvira.
Elvira patch.
That's cute.
Yes.
You're so thoughtful.
And
Thank
then,
you.
just for
So
clarification,
pretty.
Anxiety.
for
Yeah.
clarification
Coffee.
use, Zoe is not a demonologist.
Turns out she's not a demonologist.
I was a little drinky when we were doing that little episode with
Oh my god, that episode.
But anyways, no. So as a big inside joke, but also something that I think that would entirely relate to you because of your craft and how. Well,
I
hello.
was trying to set my drink down. It didn't go as smoothly
And
as
how
I was
you
hoping.
work and everything. I got you demon tarot cards.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Wow.
I call first reading.
So I'm at Barnes and Noble, and
That is so pretty.
I was in Barnes and Noble trying to figure out something. I was like, okay, what should I get? And then I just saw that, and it was just screamed out to me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was perfect.
Cool.
This is beautiful. So just to be clear, what I do is I do house clearings, I do house blessings, and I also can rid a home of negative entities, including demons. It is something that I do. However, to be a real demonologist, you have to, and I understand why you made that mistake. Like, it's an honest mistake, but
To be fair, she helped him with a demon.
I did.
So he would just assume.
Let's not talk about that. Oh
we're
gosh.
not going to talk about that.
Alright.
But basically,
Thank you,
like,
Peter, from the Agnostic Temple. Thank you.
Yes, Peter also helped. To be a real demonologist, it takes like years and years and years of training, which I don't have that level of training. And also, like, there's only like, last I checked, well, this was several years ago because I was interested in becoming one, to be honest. There
I
was
can
like
see it.
6 in the whole world. So this is like some hardcore shit. I am not a demonologist. I
Nope.
am a fairy witch. But I do have a few tricks up my sleeve if you are experiencing some negative entities that you want banished.
Comment
Perfect.
below. We'll get back to you soon.
Well then.
Yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought you guys
Thank
really
you.
like that.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I love you. Thank
I
you.
love you.
So
You're
cute.
so amazing.
I can't wait to get a reading from that deck.
I can't wait to
Daley, you have a present.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the Coven.
Uh-oh.
From the Coven.
It's for your new room.
so everyone's aware, because you were like, she's moving into a new room. People are
The cellar.
yeah, moving out of the cellar.
Wow, the wine cellar.
No, I am creating a space in my home that is going to be just for me, like a meditation space. It's going to be very like bright and cheery and very sealy, and just a place that I can do my Wim Hof and do my breathing and my meditation, and just a quiet space for, you know, to have some garden time and some tea and just
Also known
reflect.
as my bedroom. I
What?
drink a lot of coffee, guys.
That I don't
Wow.
think that needs to be explained any more than it just was.
Well, it's also the room
Yes,
it's the room I sleep in every time I come over to hang out.
It's
in it,
his
so.
also his room that he sleeps in.
So we joke around. It's my bedroom. It's not.
But it'll be lovely for him.
There goes the rumors. Let's get the gifts.
Alright. Close your eyes.
I love you.
I love you
Yes.
too, strange
Is your eyes
gay
closed?
boyfriend of mine.
Yes. Close
Yeah.
your eyes. Put your hands out.
Okay, my hands are out, my eyes are closed.
Yay.
If it's slimy, I'm throwing it, just so everyone knows.
Oh no, it's.
Do you have anything slimy?
We can't.
You
Oh.
throw it.
That's my type!
Throw it.
Because I knew it was you, you sexy minx. Okay, what's happening? What is... Oh, okay. Oh, there's 2 items!
Yes.
Okay.
So
Am I
this is
supposed
from-
to guess, or like what's
Yeah, guess.
Okay, well, I feel a book here for sure, and then I have no idea.
It's not a book.
It's a vibrator.
Woohoo! Okay.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So, no joke, I was just talking about how I needed a new tarot deck, or a new oracle deck, a new deck in general, because I have but one deck, and my poor deck is like screaming at me every day, like, you're putting all of this on just us, like, we need some help.
Oh.
So I'm so excited.
This
oh my
is-
god, a new
This is
deck.
the
Look, turn around,
fountain.
look at
This is
the
the
artwork.
fountain tarot.
Oh,
Look at those
beautiful.
cards.
Illustrations are absolutely just like.
Oh,
wow.
I love it.
They're hypnotic.
Oh, I'm so
Bless
sorry.
you.
So sorry.
This is my moment! Oh my god, I love this so much. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh.
So that
Oh,
book's
yes.
called Witchcraft, and it's by
Grey Wolf.
Anastasia
I
Grey Wolf.
love it. I'm
Is that what
reading
it
the
is?
back
That's
right
such
now.
a name, Anastasia.
Such
Grey
a
Wolf.
Don't,
cool-
there's
Love
to
it.
become invisible. There's a...
There's a spell to become invisible.
But these
gonna hide from everyone.
these are spells like collected from all around the world.
Yeah,
right?
that's...
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it will say
Yes.
like under the spell. where
Make it
comes
snow.
from.
I'm going to
Flip-
use that this winter.
Flip through the
Please.
pages because the layouts and the
To be
illustrations,
transformed
they're
into
so
an animal.
pretty.
It's Animorphs!
Oh yes!
Yes!
We're coming for you, Tobias and Rachel.
To
I'm
bring
Tobias.
about
She's my Rachel.
submission to one's will.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, we're gonna
Your
tear that out and
Powerful, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's not ready for me to be able to do that. I have a spell book. The spells are like pages and pages and pages long. And it's, I mean, for me personally, because I have a really slow attention span, it's hard for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna read these 3 pages. These are like quick little short.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
little paragraphs.
Well, there a lot of them are incantations. So what you can do with it is you will like
Just chant it over and
you,
over.
you chant the incantation and then you can use your own witchcraft and your own craft to
Perfect.
include with it.
Yeah.
To banish a toothache. Interesting. Oh my goodness. I love this. Oh, thank you guys so much.
Yay!
We love you.
I love you.
Mwah.
You. Thank you guys.
But-
Wait!
Wait!
I'm so excited.
Ah!
What?
Yes. Wait!
Jeffrey, go. We're weird.
We're very weird.
Ugh.
Very,
I'm
very
so
weird.
excited. I cannot wait to open this. I cannot wait to open this tarot deck.
I love it. I'm so happy. Yay!
Yay!
In other news, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary next month.
We are.
August 21st. That'll be great.
That's
Yep.
like in a month.
In a month.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah,
month.
in exactly a month.
Next
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
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 That's
Oh,
exciting.
oh.
Jeffrey's.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
yes. Oh, yes.
Oh.
We have a gift for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Fairy King.
What?
Can you hold my drink, please? My friend.
His face, he always looks nervous.
My friend.
No, what is it? What is it? Don't.
Well, we couldn't forget you. And so.
He has a plant boner, everyone.
Oh, I mean, hello.
Hello!
It's a kimono. It's a salmon pink one.
Pink
Oh my gosh, I
kimono.
love these ones. These are so freaking cute. So I work at the Renaissance Fair at Sherwood Forest Fair, and we used to like take these. Well, I used to take them and like put my hood on and everything, and just like walk through the fair and like would pick a little spot where I'd put some soil on
And
it.
where nothing
I would go
but
ahead and plant
this.
it. I love this! I know exactly. This is gonna go my fairy village. This is gonna be the fairy tower. This is so. It even has a little baby.
It's a little
through.
baby.
I drink
Oh.
way too much coffee.
Funny story on
Aw.
this. We took a little. Can I tell them about the nursery and how you thought I was just a bitch?
You were the worst. Wait a minute! I thought you were getting this for your
No,
garden.
I know. Okay, so what happened was we went to the nursery together because I wanted plants for my garden,
I love it.
and he saw this and fell in love with it.
I did.
And but
I
he was
think
like,
I walked by
can't-
it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
too.
you were totally in love with it, and he's like, I can't buy it because like I'm out of money right now. I just spent a bunch of money.
I just got
And,
a
like,
new puppy, so.
Exactly.
And by the way, new hair to match my new plant.
Yes!
It matches for sure.
So let me finish my story.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
Jesus.
Jesus.
So he fell in love with this plant, and so I picked it up and I put it in my basket, and he had that look like, and I was like,
What are
it's not-
you doing? What are you doing,
Oh, I don't
Zoe?
know.
I
And I
was
was
so jealous that you got that because I was like, damn it, she's gonna put that in her garden.
Well,
I'm gonna be-
I said no because you were like looking at me, and I was like, don't get excited, it's for me because I want it, and you were like,
You
bitch.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little annoyed with you that day, but I was like, all right. And then at the end of the day, I was like, nah, she really needs it for her garden because
I'm not that much of a bitch. I would not. I mean, maybe the other people, but not to you.
Enjoy your plant!
until you get deported.
I love you.
I love
you.
No, thank you. That means a lot. I love you so much. You're not that much of a bitch. Not anymore.
So enjoy your plant.
I love
Oh,
you.
can we tell them about how we got chased by a vulture in the graveyard?
Jesus Christ. Yes, please.
Okay.
Because that's just a regular thing that you hear normally.
So something really interesting happened this week. Jeffrey and I, just a couple days ago, we went out to a graveyard because we wanted to get graveyard dirt, really great for spells. So we were like, and it was a new moon, so like, let's get some graveyard dirt. This is a great time.
Perfect timing.
So we go out to the graveyard, and then there's this like rustling in the bushes, and we're like,
This is classic dig up graveyard dirt stories.
right.
It's because the cemetery that we were at, there was a certain grave that I really wanted to show her. And, well, actually, I think we should record some video when we go back out there, because I want to bring all of you out there at the
For
same
our
time.
anniversary!
But, so we were trying to look for this grave.
That's a
It's
good idea.
it's like, I think, 10 o'clock at night. You can barely see anything, because we're so far in. And
There's a pear in it.
there's a pear in it. No, legit, there's a pear in
Oh God!
it.
It's
So anyways,
Anyway,
very tradition.
we hear this
What?
rustling in the bushes, and Jeffrey gets out his flashlight, and he flashes it. He like puts the light down under the bushes. We see these legs, and they kind of look like chicken legs. So I'm like, is it a chicken?
And we
But
thought,
these are not
No.
like regular chicken legs. These are like some like
Dinosaur chicken?
dinosaur chicken like chicken
because there
legs.
was a
Like,
fence, and
what
there was
is
a
this?
bunch. There was like a giant tree that went over the fence, so it was kind of you couldn't see it. And I was thinking maybe it was a chicken from the other side that went on. I'm like, that's not a chicken. And then the noise stopped, and we're like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? And we got closer and closer, and the next thing that we see is running out of the freaking like the bushes or
running out the
whatever.
bushes and
And
we're screaming.
So I can only
Stop
imagine.
screaming, your voice.
Oh, it's getting better, by the way.
I can
don't
only,
make it worse.
I legit can only imagine someone like like the caretaker of the cemetery was just like. But I felt like I legit felt like we were in a horror movie. I'm not gonna lie. I left her behind. I kept running.
I know this bitch can't protect me. Like I'm okay with that.
It was
I
a
love
lot,
you.
but it was a lot of fun. But then we realized it was a buzzard, vulture or something. But yes, but we do want everyone to know that when you, if you do go to a cemetery, make sure you do know the proper use for graveyard dirt, and then also always leave a gift when you take something. I always like if you're gonna,
like a dead body.
yeah.
Take one, leave one.
What?
So anyways, everyone.
There's Seth being a whole mood again.
So, I got new hair. She's getting a new sanctuary. She got chased by a buzzard, and we got dead bodies over here. Everyone, stay tuned for more content from Zoe's
We're going to be
inspirational
talking
videos.
about the moon phases and
yes.
what type of rituals you can do during them.
So
Yes.
stay tuned while we have a little talk with Zeph. We'll see you soon. What the
Yay.
fuck?
Hi everyone, ZOE SOL here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am sitting here in my room and I decided that it would be really cool to make a little video to welcome you all to my page, as well as talk a little bit about, what this channel is about, how it started, and also I want to talk a little bit about the word witch and what that word means to me. With COVID-19 turning all of our lives upside down, I lost my job. I work in entertainment. I've worked in entertainment for many years. I was throwing and hosting and booking events, and I am here in Austin, Texas, and I had a bunch of stuff booked out for South by Southwest. Then that got canceled, and I had no work. And so I was forced to really go inside, figuratively and literally, and reevaluate what my priorities are and where I'm going next and what I actually want to do with myself. I realized that for the past few years, I have really disconnected from a huge part of who I am, and that is the fact that I identify as a witch. And what that means for me is that there is this very magical, spiritual, intuitive part of me that I wasn't feeding. And even though I was getting to do all these really cool things, it all was starting to feel sort of like I was on a treadmill and I just wasn't sure where I was going. Even though things were happening, I found myself kind of questioning, okay, but where am I going and what's the point? And feeling a little bit empty, to be honest. And so the past few months, I've been going inside and reconnecting with my artistic self, my witchy self. I've been performing rituals again. I have been connecting with my Coven, who, I hope that you will all meet soon. And I've also been, singing and creating. And through all of this, I realized, I want to share it. I want to share it with all of you. So I already have a platform. I already have a YouTube channel. Why not bring it back to life and put it all on YouTube? That way you all can be part of the process. Because at the end of the day, I think what I'm really craving, and I think what probably a lot of us are craving, is real authentic connection and real authentic expression. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the word witch. As I mentioned, I do identify as a witch, and I want to talk about what that means for me. Before I do, I'd like to just give you all the disclaimer that I am by no means an authority. I don't claim to be an authority. I am just sharing with you my experience and what the process has been like for me. When I was little, I was really connected to nature. I would talk to the trees, I would talk to the fairies, I would create little offerings and leave them out for the fae and also for animals. And I was doing all these little rituals that at the time I wasn't aware, but was really spell casting and a lot of witchery. But I didn't know that, I was just intuitively doing it. And it wasn't until I got into college many years later and I started dating a guy who was Native American, and I noticed that he had this altar up, and I asked him about it, and he started to describe what the altar was and what it represented. He also talked to me about the 4 directions, north, south, east, west, and the energies associated with the directions, as well as the fact that everything on this planet is imbued with an energy that you can connect with. And as he was talking, I was getting shivers down my spine because it was this realization of there's something in me that knows this already, that is not being taught something new, but rather being reminded of something that I've always known and have always felt. And, you know, I do have Native American in me, although I'm not sure how much, and I'm not sure, you know, which tribe, but I do know it's there. And he did invite me to, you know, come and get more involved on his path. But I always felt a little weary just because I try to be very conscious about cultural appropriation. And so I never really felt completely comfortable diving in, although I did learn about it and I got to participate in some beautiful ceremony and rituals, and I loved it. But it wasn't until he and I took a trip to Salem, Massachusetts, and I got the opportunity to meet a real witch. We walked into this shop and there was this woman, beautiful old crone with silver hair. I mean, she couldn't have looked more witchy, but more than looking witchy, like as we started engaging in conversation with her, I sat and listened as he and her talked about their different spiritual practices and where they intersected and where they aligned and the similarities and the differences. And as she was talking, something just lit up in me. And I instantly knew that this is my path. And, you know, I never really, I had heard the term witch and I kind of was vaguely familiar with paganism, but it wasn't until sitting there talking to this woman and having this experience that I realized, wow, there is real magic in the universe. And I've always felt it. And I've always tapped into it in my own ways. And it wasn't until that moment that I kind of woke up and was like, oh, that's it. I'm a witch. And it was just a wonderful experience to learn that. And then at that point, I started diving in and reading books and learning more. And it's sort of like the more books that I read and the more information I gathered, the more it affirmed that I was in the right place. You know, I have noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but it sort of seems like more and more people these days are coming out and identifying as witches. And I think that's really awesome. And I feel like the reason that's happening is because we are in this crazy place where the planet is basically in an upheaval. And she is, you know, if I'm 100% honest, she's angry. She is angry at humanity for not listening. And I'm not going to go into into an environmental rant right now or right here, but I will say that part of all of these people waking up as witches is that the word witch holds a very specific type of energy to it. The word witch has like a bite to it. It has this edge to it. There's a little bit of a rebellion under it. And for many, many years in history, the word witch or a witch has been feared. And part of the reason for that is I think that witches tend to be very comfortable going into the shadows and going into the dark as well as the light. And there's an appreciation for dark and light. And the understanding that we really need both, and that it's not until we can get comfortable in the mud and the muck and the blood and really dig in there and be in nature in all of its forms that we can have real communication and start to heal these things going on. So I hope that wasn't too esoteric, but I feel like if you're here watching this channel, I don't have to censor myself. So again, I feel like there's a whole other vlog that I could talk about. When you claim the word witch, it's my opinion that you're embracing not just the light, but also the dark, and not just the beautiful, you know, lovey-dovey feelings, but also the unknown, the shadow and the mystery. And I feel like it's the coming together of those two that we can really begin to heal and alchemize what's going on here on this planet right now. Witches are not afraid to go in the dark. We're not afraid to be in the mystery, and we're not afraid to dig into the truth and the reality of what's going on in our planet, because that's where deep alchemy happens, and that's where real change and shifts begin to happen. When I think about what a witch is, I think that a witch is anybody who is aware of her own inner magic and her own inner life and works on gaining mastery over how her energy and her inner magic influences her outer world. And she uses that power and that magic to then interact and communicate with the forces in the world, because the world is magic and so are we. And there's a resonance that happens when we come in communication and in harmony. And we can do that through spell work, through ritual, through dance, through song, through poetry, through art. But we can also do that through just getting still and really listening deeply from an intuitive place. And so I believe that a witch is anybody who does that and is really an alchemist. A witch is someone who is willing to take responsibility over herself and her energy and how that impacts those around her. And also at the same time, with the knowledge that it impacts those around her, can do it at will with intention. You know, if you identify as being a witch, it's not up to me to say whether or not you actually are one. It's really up to you. But I will say this. If you are taking on that title, just know that with it comes a responsibility of your power and your actions and what it represents, not only for you, but for the family of witches from here all the way through our ancestry who have claimed this title and who have also died for this title. So just be aware of that and know that, at least for me, the name holds a lot of gravity. All right. Well, I feel like that's enough for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you've enjoyed this, I would love to encourage you to hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell. You want to do both of them. That's right. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and that way we can stay connected and I can continue to make content and share my journeys with all of you. Thank you again. Bye.
It says Bruja.
Bruja. Hey everyone, welcome back. Zoe, can I just say I love your videos? They're just so heartwarming.
Thank you.
And
Most
informative.
of them are good.
That's usually something I say.
No, I
but
love them all. I'm
wow.
continually impressed.
Oh my god.
Continually impressed by your videos.
They're very
Well, goddamn.
informative. We hope you know a little bit more about now how to be a witch and what that comes with.
Yeah. And don't forget to also go to Zoe's YouTube page and subscribe and hit that bell to get her notifications.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell.
bell.
And also,
Ring my
don't forget to
bell.
subscribe to...
Ring my bell.
Ding,
Also,
ding,
don't forget to subscribe to Kaiju Labs Media and hit that bell too.
Or if you're on my YouTube watching this, subscribe to me as well.
And hit the bell.
Yes.
In fact,
Hit our bell.
we all have we have channels. And you have a channel?
He has.
I just started mine. I'm
He doesn't
trying
have
to
a
figure out
he has
what
a
to do
profile.
with it. I have a profile.
Okay. And
think
you
you should
can
do
use
tarot
well, you
readings
have
on
a
it.
channel, but
It's a secret channel.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Start
If,
doing tarot
if,
reading
if the
videos.
viewers want tarot readings, I'll do it. If they want it, so comment below if you do. If you do, then I might start.
Yeah,
a project.
do just videos on tarot readings. That would be great.
Yeah, I just started a new thing, so yeah.
there you
But anyways,
go.
we're back. And today's topic is about
Moon phases!
Moon phases! I have a necklace on today. My
This is
moon
cool.
necklace.
Moon magic is awesome.
I had like,
Yes.
is this like a moon? This could be a moon. It's a moon.
We'll say yes for the continuity.
It's a moon.
Yeah,
Ish.
it's a moon going
It's
like
a circular.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Darkwing Duck Moon.
Wait, all of us, right? 3, 2, and.
Wait a second, you guys.
What?
Oh.
You know what that is.
You know.
They
If
don't.
you know.
That's okay.
But I will like to say about that, no one knows what it is but us, but we do. But my friend's kids, she has 6 of them, and they all started going around the house doing this. And they think it's the greatest thing in the world.
It's awesome.
And it's hilarious. Oh no, trust me, those kids, they're like, I'm like,
We're glad to
Yes.
inspire.
Yeah.
with our weirdness.
Anyways, moon phases.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk
Who
about it.
wants to
Zoe, you
start?
want?
Moon magic is cool.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well.
So, like-
So it's actually an interesting topic for the menstruating witches.
For the ladies.
Yes.
Well, for the menstruating
Maybe
witches.
we should let him talk about
Yeah.
like the phases as is, and then we'll talk about the like cycles, the menstrual cycles.
Yes.
The lesbian witch is with their loins and how all that works.
So, like, when you think about moon magic, usually that comes up first is full moons.
Yeah, that's
Full
usually
moons
the
are
most.
big.
That's the most common.
That's what
like,
people
have it
think
happen
about when they
suddenly.
think about moon magic, and it's when the goddess is the most present and most felt, so you can honor her during the full moon.
Yeah.
When you also want to consider the new moon as well, though.
Mhm.
New moon.
Yeah.
New moon is
So-
not as commonly talked about, but it is a
But
great
equally
time for
important.
manifestation
Yeah.
rituals.
Right.
Oh, by the way, full moons can be celebrated either 3 days before or 3 days after, not
Yes.
just the date of.
Right.
And same goes with the
The
new moon.
So we're still in a new moon,
Yeah.
in the new
We're
moon
in
phase
the
right now.
phase right now, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
While we're filming.
When
this.
we're filming, yes.
So
Yes.
for new moons, it's growing. So it's really good to consider casting magic that's bringing things into your life, or like goal setting, stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to think
Yeah.
of it as growing, because if you think about like
The moon is
the,
growing.
the sky is black, yeah, and you can see it visibly day by day get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And so if you set an intention, a magical spell into that intention of something you want to grow, so like that's really great for like abundance,
Uh-huh.
any kind of attraction spell, anything that you want to magnify.
Manifest into your reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then the opposite would be true of the new moon.
The waning.
Mhm.
wax
Right,
waning.
which
The
is
full
waning
moon.
or the
full
full
moon.
moon,
After-
right?
well,
Because the
after
full
the
moon, the moon is full, and then it starts to dissipate. And as it dissipates, that's a great time to do spell work where you're
Bye-bye.
releasing.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Where you're releasing, yes.
I love it.
So that's like if let's say you have a habit that you're trying to kick, or you want to even just like cleanse your own energy of like an old relationship.
Yeah, cord cutting
Or-
rituals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Very important.
And,
I've had
and
many
magic
of
like that
those.
is really powerful because it's not just you want to like come back to it as time goes on.
Yes.
Mhm.
So for the full moon, you cast it on the full moon and you keep coming back to it every night or every few nights.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to keep. Yeah. It's. I mean, I've done it. I guess I've done it both ways because I've done it like where you do one the night of and you just let it go. But then I've also done ones where you tend to it
Yeah.
for a few nights
Mhm.
after. I tend to do threes, everything in threes.
Mhm.
And so like I will do 3 nights. You do the first night the spell, and then the 2 nights following
Yeah.
you follow up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, the last thing I want to
We've
say.
all been talking
The last thing I want to say about full moons is
He
since
loves
the
them.
goddess is
Moon
present.
him.
Yeah, I love full moons. Full moon me. um, it's a great time to take stones
Oh
Yes.
yes.
and leave them out at night
Good point.
to charge them.
Also,
That's
moon,
actually-
And also
moon water.
cleanse. Yeah.
What's that?
Moon water. If you're wanting
Yes.
to make moon water,
That's
put your
Mhm.
water, your natural water, rainwater, tap
Mhm.
water, whatever you got, out and charge it under the full moon. You got
Yeah.
some moon water.
There you
Amazing.
go.
You guys were actually hitting every single point I was going to talk about.
He's like, well, now we're gonna have Jeffrey talk about everything since we already talked about it. We're gonna see what he brings.
Oh, we're
up.
gonna talk about the menstrual.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
talk
gonna
about the menstruating.
Yeah, you talk about the menstruating.
Go for it, Jeffrey. Take it away.
Everything's just going fine, guys. Everything's just fine. I was actually, what I actually like doing is on a full moon is where I will actually take out my quartz crystals, because you guys, when you guys come over to my garden, there's quartz crystals everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every single one of those crystals are actually charged by the moon, by a full moon.
It's just going down the road.
So on the night of a full moon, I bring them all together and I put them in a little spot and I charge them overnight.
Mm.
And then I have this. I'll have to bring it next episode, but I have this giant quartz crystal I put in the middle, and they
Oh,
all
I
get
love that.
charged. And it's like I see it as if a beacon from the moon, full moon
Going like
goes
this.
here. Like,
Yeah.
like this goes to this one and it charges all the rest. And then I put them in my, as a green witch, I put them around my garden. And I always believe that the moon energy is actually, brings forth all the plants and everything
Yeah.
else like that. Because you've noticed that my plants are growing a little faster than what they're probably supposed to. People
His
really.
garden looks better than mine.
I just.
Even though we bought the same plants and the same soil and the same everything.
Yeah.
Rude.
Sorry.
But yeah, no. I mean, I really like using the full. Well, not using the full moon, but I like to think the powers to bless my
Also,
stones.
moon
and
bathing is a thing. I know
Yeah,
a lot of people
I
are
do
very
that.
with the sunbathing, but
I
moon
actually,
bathing is a
yep,
thing.
full moon is. That's really. I don't really do too much with the moon and everything. It's just mostly around the full moon is where I bless my crystals and I spread them throughout my garden and moon bathe. That's really what I do. I do have some
naked in his garden.
Sky
bathes
planet.
under the
Naked
Possibly
sky
do.
clad.
But I
Sky
did
class.
get gifted some moon water from my friend Marie, so it was really cool.
I have a
And I got
bowl
to
of moon
use some of
water.
it, and I've been using it to re-bless my quartz crystals every full moon. And so far, I'm seeing remarkable results. So
Awesome.
That water that you gave me from the natural spring, I made into moon water. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I need spring water for my Venus fluctuation.
we have to go
Yeah,
create.
we need
We have
to
to
go
go
do
collect
that.
some spring water.
Yeah,
We're-
let's go collect some.
Let's
We'll
go
do
get
a vlog, maybe next episode, and we'll
Yeah.
go collect some natural.
We're gonna go into nature.
Yeah, we'll go collect some natural ingredients for some spells.
That's gonna be fun.
are we going to the witch woods?
Yeah.
We can go to the
Witch
witch
woods.
woods.
Yeah.
Witch woods.
Maybe
Yeah,
go
we
to
go
the
into the
river.
witch
We can
woods.
probably go a couple places and get
Yes.
some stuff. So.
But yeah, that's what I use for the. That's what I like to do is usually bless my quartz crystals, and that's mostly all I really do with the full moons.
Yeah.
And new moons.
I want to
and such.
talk a little bit about so solar energy. The sun is generally considered, and let me just be really clear when I use the terms masculine and feminine, these are old energies. This is not like gender identity
This has nothing to do
thing.
with
Like
gender
it's
or
not
sex,
like oh,
yeah.
if you're female, you're this, or if you're male, this. It's not that way at all. I believe all of us
Yes.
have masculine and feminine in us, but the idea is that the solar tends to be associated with the masculine energy. So that's a very
You know what's funny? In German, it's flipped.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
That's very interesting. The sun is very outward. It's very active. It's penetrating energy. It's very forceful energy. And we are 13 here.
Oh, honey, we're going on 11.
I didn't think about that shit when I was 11.
Anyway, the moon is feminine, so the moon is receptive. And when you think about actually like at the actual astronomy, think about what the sun is. The sun is this bright, blazing star. The moon is not, in fact, the
It
light
doesn't
that you
shine. It doesn't
at
have
all.
a light source at all.
Right.
The light source is the
It's
sun.
receiving
It's
like the sun.
receiving and
Very
reflecting,
cool.
receiving and
Yes.
reflecting. So the idea is that feminine energy is receptive. It's the dark space where the mystery happens. Whereas the masculine energy is manifesting, you see it, it's visible.
Yes.
Feminine energy is receptive, it's in the dark, it's shrouded. And so the light that you see from the moon is actually just a reflection of what's coming to it.
That's also called
is so cool.
science.
Science! Hey, who would have thought science and witchcraft, they can go together.
They-
Science and witchcraft
Science
go together.
rules.
The world is round. There's a thing called. Oh, sorry, I'm getting.
I actually heard a really interesting quote that I actually still think about from time to time is that magic is just science that we haven't understood yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's super amazing to think about because there are a lot of things that we can't explain yet, but that doesn't mean we won't ever be able to.
I have a question for you guys.
Oh,
We have an answer.
Because I
I'm
am like
afraid.
I've heard.
I know.
Well,
Yeah. I think
okay.
we're like.
So I've heard this before. Oh, it's your turn. We're passing the hat. I have heard this before, and one thought that I like to always like pose, especially to witches, is if magic becomes explainable by science, like you can break it down and say this is the science of it.
It is explainable by science.
Well, but we get to the place that like it's common knowledge, right? Like everybody can explain it. We all understand exactly what it is. Do you still consider it magic?
Yeah.
Right answer.
Everything is magic already. So.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's still.
because I mean, like back way before we had civilization. You had people that would probably see an eclipse or a thunderstorm or something like that, and that would be magic. They'd be like, oh, we prayed for this and we created this, magic out of thin air.
I would definitely say, yeah, it is still called. It's
I mean,
still
I still look at thunderstorms as magic, so.
Yeah,
So-
it's still
Well,
magic, but it's with a scientific basis
Yeah, so-
behind it.
Totally.
Because I mean, well, my family, I mean, my brother, he's in astrophysics. And he has a PhD in that. So I learned a lot about science as growing up as a kid, and going with the craft that I practice in and everything. I like to combine science and magic together, and I think science is just another form of magic, and magic is just another form of science. So they both balance each other out.
They work together.
They do.
Oh, what do you know? Witches believe in science. Wear your goddamn masks.
Yes, please, so we can get out of this house. Thank you.
Oh, you idiot.
Oh, look, our Lord and Savior has shown up.
He has.
The cult of Yodi.
That was a harmony you had going on there.
So yeah, but yeah, no, I really
That's a
do.
good light.
But I
Good
really
job.
do believe that
Yeah, that's cute.
they do balance each other out, and magic is just another form of science.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Bam.
yeah.
Bam.
So talk about your
Yeah.
stuff.
Our loins.
Your
Our loins.
themes.
So this is a topic. I mean, I don't think it should necessarily be something that's considered taboo. I think
No.
it's ridiculous. But for people who menstruate, whether you identify as a man or a woman, people who menstruate, a lot of witches find themselves synced with the moon cycles. I am synced with the new moon, and Zoe is synced with the full moon. It's the new moon right now, so hi everybody.
Is that together
Doing
you
real
make
great.
a half moon?
I'm doing real great, you know.
Well, and there are women people. There are people who menstruate who sink like in betweens.
Mhm.
But I have found, because I used to be
In
one of those
betwixt.
people.
I'm betwixt.
Is the witch term?
In betwixt. I used to be one of those people who was in betwixt, and what I found, oddly enough, is that the more I synced it to my practice, especially, I actually use a lot of lunar magic in my work. When I started really syncing into that, that's when my cycles started to sync up with the moon.
Same. Mine actually was 2 weeks early, so it hit right on the new moon, and I've been the new moon ever since. When I
Oh,
started
wow.
practicing with you guys.
Okay.
Wow.
So I want to talk a little bit about this. I think we're in a really good position.
I don't know much about this stuff.
It's okay, you're gonna learn today.
I'm learning a
Gonna
lot of
learn
things, just
today.
like you guys at home.
So tell me more about this vagina.
He's like, I'm taking my plant and I'm leaving. Taking Zoe's hat and I'm leaving.
It's my hat.
Anyway, continue.
Well, okay, so for me, you gonna be okay, Jeffrey?
I'm good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's doing much better.
Um,
I love
it's
you
okay.
guys.
It's okay. Just deep breaths. Just deep breaths.
Through your nose and out your nose.
Yes.
Like we learned at Wim Hof.
That's right. At Wim Hof, you have all the.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
That's a
Okay,
whole other
continue your
subject.
story.
I'm a very
so I-
confused individual.
We love you anyway.
I
Alright.
feel like for me, and I'm interested in what your situation is because we're opposite.
Mhm.
But for me, it makes sense. Like I'm ready to release and menstruate at the full moon, and so I sync up like as the moon is growing. My uterine lining is literally growing, and then it gets to a point where it's full with the full moon, and then it releases. And so for me, I find that really fun and cool that it can sync up that way. And I also I find that like when I'm doing magic, I can use the energy of like what's going on in my body and tune into that energy and sync it up with the moon, and it can make for really powerful magic. And so I'm just curious because you're actually kind of opposite,
I'm
like
opposite.
how
I am
that works.
exactly on the new moon.
Yeah. So how does that work for
Exactly.
you?
So for me, I find because when I, having my cycle begin on the new moon, and it's usually either exactly on the new moon or like the day after, by the time the full moon hits, I feel completely cleansed, and I feel like, because right before you start your cycle and during, you're kind of in this like intense space where your emotions are heightened, you physically don't feel 100%. So by the time the full moon hits, I'm finished and I'm ready to just kind of like begin my next month of magic and just feeling like I've already, I've gotten rid of those emotions, I've gotten rid of that energy, and, if I do something on the full moon, I just feel renewed,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
So I think that's kind of like
I think
where
that's actually really beautiful that you're able to
Yeah,
tune into
yeah.
that and then use it as well. So I
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and like the new moon, I mean, I know we touched on it a little bit, but I just kind of want to come back to this new moon because I find that a lot of emphasis, and we talked about this, is placed on the full moon.
Mhm.
But I actually have found for myself the most powerful magic has come from new moon magic.
Yes.
Mhm.
And there's something about, you know, like I in my belief system, everything that exists in reality comes from the nothing. That is the mystery. That is you know, the void, whatever you want to call it. But it's that space that we cannot know, like our brains cannot comprehend it.
Mhm.
It's the safe.
Yeah.
Steph's over here like, I
No,
can
no.
comprehend it.
Yeah, I already comprehended that.
He's an
No, it
alien.
was just triggering a memory because we are revisiting To Ride a Silver Broomstick, and they were talking about nothing
Yeah.
and how nothing is actually something. There is no nothing really.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
it's nothing is basically it's the space. It's basically like the cauldron of all existence and all manifestation. And so
Yes.
the new moon being void in the sky and there being nothing in the sky, it's like in that moment anything is possible.
Mhm.
It's the moment of potentiality.
Creation.
Right, and that's
Manifestation.
where creation happens. And so, yeah, again, and if you think about it, like that's the time to go stargazing. That's where you
Stargazing.
see
Yes,
all
you can
the
see
stars.
them. It's
But it's a good time to go get graveyard dirt because we
Be
were
chased by a vulture.
getting a bunch of
No.
vulture. But no, I mean like when we were doing that, it was under the new moon,
Mhm.
and we were manifesting really good positive stuff and everything else like that, and good intentions with what we wanted to do, and then we got chased by a vulture.
Well, yeah, but we.
Vulture who wanted to meet with you.
I mean, it was also
real
kind of
stuck
like
on
If
that.
a
Yeah.
vulture's doing
You
this,
Steph's
it
real
means
stuck-
it's
stuck on
hot
that.
and horny.
Woo!
Here we are.
It,
The new moon, everyone.
Anything is possible, like I said.
Like,
but you
Oh,
but
interspecies
basically-
love.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is probably where demigods come from.
Yeah.
That was really Zeus.
On
Zeus? But no, I mean you can really
Zeus.
you can see that, you know, moon phases have a huge part in our everyday practice and everything, and they really do.
And
do
the
something.
energy, just the energy levels of just
Mhm.
us. I mean, if you think about it, the moon affects the ocean, and we're, you know, what, 80% water.
Right.
So of course it's going to affect us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, you know, it's not something just for witches to look into. Just, you know,
But it, I mean,
anybody
and
can look into
also,
that.
and just not just the moon, but also the sun as well. They
Mhm.
have different properties and such. So I do more sun like during the
He's
day
big
magic.
on, he's big on the sun.
Big, well,
Solar
yeah.
energy,
my
yeah.
babies like that. My
Mm.
children,
Children's.
my kingdom.
Speaking of manifestation, I actually did a manifestation ritual last month during the new moon. It was one of those little ritual jars.
Oh,
So I was
Ooh.
gonna share. Yeah, I was gonna share. Oh God, I'm gonna fall first. Ah. So yeah, I did.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so
That is cool.
this is actually a money spell that I did during the new moon last month. And it's been sitting doing
Wow.
its thing, and it has been a productive spell, I must say. I've had some good experiences
Walk us
with
through
it.
the spell.
Well, I was
Listen
trying to
to
figure
it.
out if I should like open it or if I should leave it. I don't know.
I would
It's
leave
been
it.
a month. I mean, it's been a month though.
Leave
so.
it. Leave it.
Tell
Okay.
us about it.
Yeah.
So I have all of my different all my different aspects in this jar. I've got my stones that represent wealth and money. One of which is my birthstone, which is citrine. And then I've also got the different herbs in here that represent money, which basil. I have some rosemary, of course, my cinnamon stick, and my cloves. Cloves are a big one. I've researched. Cloves are big for money.
Yeah.
And I actually grow, there's like wax coming off. I hear I have some wax. There's, actually I grow a ton of basil and herbs in my garden, and I did not know that basil and rosemary were also, for money spells. And so I was really excited about that because I had a ton of basil left over, for my drying rack. So I put that in there as well. And then my husband actually lent me his, very large silver dollar, to represent the actual
Aww.
coin. So that's in there as well, and it's safe. It'll eventually come out.
So Logan,
Yeah, I know.
he's like, regular silver dollar isn't big enough for me.
Yeah, no, it's have the big one, and he's very supportive of all of my witchcraft.
That's
And
really
then I
cool.
sealed it with some green wax from a green candle and this green ribbon, and I put a candle on top, and I just lit the candle, and looked into the candle, and that's when I did my intention and all my energy, my manifestation. And then I just let it melt for the rest of the day over the
Really
candle.
pretty.
It actually melted down onto my altar. It was very pretty, had a lot of green wax, and yeah, it's actually been very fruitful spell.
When you were doing your
Fruitful.
research about this, what was your inspiration? Like,
I needed money.
no, I
Pay me!
Pay
mean,
me!
did this originate from a particular witch, or?
No, I mean, I knew of ritual jars, and I had seen people do money spells.
That is awesome.
And so I just
love
kind
it.
of combined the two ritual jar money spell, and just I did a little just a quick little easy spell. If you've got some cloves hanging around your house, most people have cloves, cinnamon, things like
So
that.
you put all of these things into the jar that manifest what you're looking for, and then you
Yeah.
seal it and you put the candle on top,
I did.
and it's like a
And I just
candle.
let it melt over it, and it sealed the jar perfectly. Oh, there's some
That's
oil
cool.
in here as well. It's actually an oil that I pre-purchased for money manifestation. It's called a King Midas oil. It's got like
beautiful.
it's got really
That
pretty,
is a bit.
I know.
Yeah,
It's got beautiful
that's
glitter
perfect.
in it. It smells great. So I did put a few drops of that in there as well. I don't actually know what the oil's made of, but
It's really pretty.
it was pre-purchased. So it was it's been
That's
really
fun.
That
really
is awesome.
productive. But I
Yeah.
love it. I just haven't opened it yet because it's been so pretty just sitting on my altar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have a question for you. When you have a spell jar, how long do you keep that? Do you keep that spell jar infinitely, or do at some point you take it apart? If you take it
Yeah.
apart, is
I
there
feel
a way to do that?
I feel like that's kind of up to the individual person. If you do your jar and you feel like you've, gotten all of your, productivity out of it that you've needed, then you want to take it apart and do something else with it. I feel like that's probably fine.
Yeah,
I like to leave it at least until the next moon cycle,
that makes
personally.
sense.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I mean, if I get to the next moon cycle and I'm still like, I don't feel like it's gotten its full potential, might leave it for another moon cycle.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Well, that's really neat. I like that. That spell jars can go into.
Yeah,
different
and you can do
phases
that with
and
any
things
type
like
of
that.
spell. You can make a spell jar for love. You can make a spell jar for protection. There's really a little jar hanging
We
around.
actually gifted you a spell jar protection for your birthday.
That's right.
I
I,
remember
have it.
that.
It's actually up. It's over there on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're really
Yes, I
fun.
have
They're really
it.
fun to make.
I think I'm finally gonna go dabble into spell jars because I've
Yeah,
never
they're
created
really
a spell
fun.
jar before.
I
and
know. I feel like that should be a Coven project because I really haven't either, and
That is so much
super
fun.
exciting
Let's
for
do
I'm
me.
that.
so excited.
You know, we
to
should do that next week. That'd be kind of
Make a spell jar. How to make a spell jar.
Let's
next
do
week.
that. We'll do that
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
Ooh,
I
fun.
like
Stay
that.
Or
tuned.
we'll have a how to make a spell jar. That's what we can do. We can go do a vlog. We can go collect items from
The
the
witchwood.
woods.
Collect items from the witchwood, and then we can go ahead and bring them back and then make a spell jar. That'd be really looks fun. I love the idea.
Put the coffee down.
Hey Jeffrey, what's on your finger?
Anyways, everyone, we really do hope that you enjoyed the content today. Stay tuned because we got some more stuff coming.
We got our fairy forecast.
We do.
Fairy forecast.
All right, we're back for this week's fairy forecast.
Fairy forecast.
This week we're using
Forecast.
This week we're using the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. This was a deck gifted to me by Jeffrey. And it's a beautiful, beautiful deck, and we thought it was pertinent for this episode pertaining to the moon. And all the cards are lovely and refined and minimalist. So
Just like you.
just like me, it was right up my alley. So here are the cards. Is it in a shot?
Are you first?
Yeah. Actually, do you want to go first?
No.
Who wants to go first?
We should
It's
go
your
this way.
deck, because
Okay.
you should go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull the first card for the week, and let's do one more. Do. What do we have? We have New Moon in Virgo. Time to give rather than take, and this is beautiful. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, pretty.
Okay, so this is not a time to like go out and manifest your personal goals. It's kind of like an internal moment for you, and yet it's like a little bit of a waiting, and it's not it's not actually about you. You want to go out and consider what's happening around you and the people around you, the things around you, and see where you can add your energy to goals and needs outside of yourself, and that's just going to come back and nurture your personal goals later. But right now, it's to go internal and then look for ways to add and like add value to what's going on around you.
Nice.
Awesome. That's top card. Meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. So this
2 new moon cards.
just kind of, 2 new moons, and kind of to
Talking about new moons.
reiterate what, Zeph was saying. This is really a time to go inward, to contemplate, to meditate, to be quiet, to be still, to not have a lot of external action, but to really just be thoughtful about where you're going in your life and what's coming next.
Oof, I got a good one, guys. I got the new moon eclipse.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What
that's
is with all this new moon?
Yes.
It is literally the new moon right now. Like
It
we are
is,
in the new
it
moon
is.
energy, so this makes
so
sense.
expect powerful change. I feel like a lot of people are actually dealing with big changes in their life right now. With everything that's going on, it's kind of given everyone a moment to, go inside themselves and kind of like relearn who they are and change what they want about their life. And so I think that right now there is a lot of change going on, personal change as well as worldwide change. So, I mean, this is a pretty straightforward card. Expect powerful change in your life.
Beautiful. All right.
I love it.
Jeffrey.
So, wow. The last card. Okay, guys, just so everyone knows, we really did shuffle these. And the last card we just got is Confidence in Your Key to Success. New Moon in Leo.
My
So we
goodness.
have
All
a
new
full
moons.
new
Wow.
moon deck for the new moon.
So confidence in your key to success. Just be very confident about yourself. Let your inner intuition be your guide, really. With everything that's happening right now, just be confident with yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't, take people's critique with maybe a grain of salt, and just do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do what makes you happy, and just move forward in life. And if you can do that, then you'll be completely successful.
Oh, this is a really pretty
Yeah.
pull. Yeah.
And as always, everybody,
Let the moon be your guide. Well, that's this week's fairy forecast. We hope you all enjoy, and
We'll see you next time.
bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.
Ooh.